Hi there guys, it's Mike from MCQ Bushcraft here, and in this video I wanted to introduce you to some kit I received in the post not too long ago. And a chap called Malcolm from New England hand makes bushcraft kit based on 18th and 19th century designs but with modern equipment, and he sent me a load of this gear. I only really expected the Laplander sheath, but he kindly sent me lots of other equipment as well to have a look at, and some of it, as you can see, has been incorporated into my new pack already. I've been running with this new pack now for about 4 weeks, and having gear like this to help me compartmentalise things like food and clothing really does help. And I've never really been one for too many gear reviews, but when something turns up that's really useful, I always like to share it because it's something that could help other people out there. This gear is made to an exceptional standard. Malcolm hand makes all of this, and he runs a company called the Hidden Woodsmen. This is the Baco Laplander sheath, and it's a pretty substantial sheath, to be honest. Very durable, weather resistant, and it's not just, going to kind of fray up and get snagged on you and get damaged very easily. Very durable piece of equipment, and the stitching on it is very good. Excellent stitching, all double stitched to a very high standard, and the material is a ballistic nylon, a military grade ballistic nylon. I quite like the two-tone that they have on there. You've got like this foliage on the outside and this sort of khaki colour in the middle there. It's really good. Adds a nice touch to the pouch itself. And with the webbing, it's something I noticed straight away actually when I opened the box. The webbing is of a very high standard. It's a really tight weave, which I quite like on webbing. When I buy a bag and you have a loose weave on the webbing, it sort of puts you off it a bit. It does for me anyway, because it tends to fray and catch on things like Velcro and thorns, and it starts to fluff up and deteriorate over time. And you can see the stitching on the back there, really substantial again, thick nylon thread, stitched multiple times to make sure it's 100% secure. The buckles are pretty good as well. I really like tough buckles on equipment. I don't like sort of flimsy buckles. You sometimes buy gear and the buckles will be pretty horrible and you think, oh, that's no good, I need to replace that. But you've got a good positive buckle there, and it's very hard plastic and looks quite durable. It has made in the United States on it and GSI printed on the other side, so looks like a pretty sturdy buckle there. You can see we've got two pouches here, and this is a small belt pouch and a large belt pouch, and you can see that the large belt pouch has sort of drop hanger style belt loops on it, which I quite liked. Again, superb stitching, excellent materials. You're not really going to go wrong with these kind of materials. They're really substantial, and they're going to sort of withstand the test of time and weather conditions. And again, we've got the same buckles, and if we open that up, nice two-tone there. And on this pouch in here, you can see you've got a kind of reinforcement to support the belt droppers the other side, all the way across there. And it's been stitched very substantially. It's never going to come loose. And they do guarantee their stitching as well, as you can read on the website. We do have an inner pouch though, which is quite nice. So for example, a pouch like this, you could put your slingshot in there, and then maybe have your ammunition, sitting in this smaller pouch, or even the ammo in the big pouch, and the slingshot could fit into the smaller pouch. You could take that out and then dive your hand in for the ammunition, for example, or even cartridges. So you can have different varieties of cartridges. It's really up to you how you use it and your imagination, but you can imagine this could be used for any number of different things. But again, all the seams are stitched up, and it's very solid in terms of its build. Nice quality pouch, and it's a good size. It's sort of the kind of thing I'd have hanging on my back there, underneath my backpack. And because it's a drop hanger, it won't interfere with the back of your pack either, which is what I quite like about it. You can see we've got a small belt pouch there. Not a drop hanger design. It's just going to sit true on your waist there, like a lot of pouches do, but again, very useful. And in here you could put a whole manner of different things. This is quite a tightly sort of fitting pouch. It's wider at the bottom than it is at the top, and it might be good for slingshot ammo, for example, if you really filled that up. And you could put an whole manner of different things in there, like a fire kit or any kind of items really. Makes a good little medical pouch. It's something I've been using it for, as a little med kit just to have on my belt, so if I cut myself quite badly I can just dip my hand in, grab some dressing and get that on there, get some pressure and elevation on the go. Just a sort of good first response little med kit pouch. But again, really well made, much like the other items, and a nice little addition to the kit. Two little pouches that I was really fond of were these two here, and they just velcro up. And again, you've got the same kind of material there. Got some good velcro on that as well, it really does hold together well. And you can see inside there, it's quite a nice substantial pouch. These are almost like Tinder pouches, and I've got two different colours here. But again, pouches like this are really useful just for organising things. You know, for food as well, I quite like to keep things separate from each other. And I don't like using Ziploc bags sometimes because they just tear and you end up throwing them away. If anything, I try and use paper bags a lot of the time because they can be thrown on the fire after you finish with the food when you're out. But bags like this, again, really useful. These two little bags, I'll put the links to all this kind of equipment below in the description. But you know, some of you out there might find these very useful if it's something you've been after. Just a Velcro closed bag. So we have a bag here that ties closed, a little bit like a coin purse, and they do have a bag on their website that's referred to as a coin purse, and it's similar to this. I think this is slightly bigger. This one's called the coffee bag. But again, a bag like this might be useful for you. This, for me, was pretty good for rice and things like oats. When I went away not too long ago, I filled it up to about there, closed it up, and it was just quite useful for pouring out oats into a bowl and cooking in the morning. So for me, this has been used for food, but a very, very strong bag, not very heavy and quite thin, and another resilient piece of equipment that's well stitched and uses good materials, but a useful sack if anybody's after something like that. So we've got a pouch here that's described as a Tinder pouch on their website, and it's almost like a dry bag type design, but made out of Cordura sort of ballistic nylon, so tough materials again, and obviously it's not going to keep your kit completely dry if submerged in water, but that's not really its intention. So it rolls up and fastens like that with a pretty good buckle. Again, smaller buckle, but very positive lock on that buckle there. And again, packs like this are really useful just to keep in your gear. I mean, I used this for my tarpaulin. I was out on a very rainy day not long ago, rolled my tarp up into a ball with the ridgeline, stuffed it in here, rolled this up a couple of times and buckled it, and it went in my pack and it didn't get any of my other kit wet. So it is very useful. Little sacks like this can really come in handy, even when you keep them stuffed up in your kit and you're not using them. This is probably my favourite pouch out of all of them, just because for me it's the most useful for a whole manner of different things. And this is a billy can holder. As it's described on the website, you can see it can stand up with a billy can in, a zebra billy pot or mess tins for example, and it's got a rounded base on it, a little bit like a sort of Ortlieb style dry bag, and it has the same fastener at the top that you'd see on the other pouch we just had a look at, that rolls like a dry bag and fastens up. And in here I keep lots of different types of clothing for wet weather. So I keep Gore-Tex socks, I keep my waterproof jacket and trousers that all compress and fit in here. And again, when my kit's wet, I can put it into this pack, roll things up and stuff it in my bag, and it will keep everything nice and dry, and it means I can just get things out and keep them organised without stuff interfering with each other and getting wet. But I really like the rounded base on this one. I like the way it's in a tan colour. It looks really good and the materials are excellent. And you can just see this kind of material really isn't going to fluff up, and it'll wear down really well, and it's not going to give you any problems. So again, another excellent product. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. Just a little bit of a shout out to Malcolm there. Just because of the gear he makes, it's of a great quality and I've got on with it really well. And Malcolm, just to say thanks to you for sending me this gear. I didn't expect all of this and I really appreciate it. And like I say, I'm not much of a kit reviewer, but when something really good comes along and it helps me out on my pack and you know, helps me organise things a bit better, and I'm running with this new system now which I've almost finished with, and you know, I'm pretty happy with, so it might be time for a review fairly soon. You know, it's really helped me just take things forward a bit and keep my kit nice and organised. I like things that last a long time. I'm not a big fan of bits of equipment that are just there for the moment and they're going to get damaged easily. So You know, longevity is the key, and with the stitching, the materials and the thought that's gone in some of this kit, I'm really impressed with it. It'd be nice to see sort of like some different ranges of pouches. I quite like, you know, the way you've got these pouches set up there, and it'd be cool to just see a few more different types of designs. But other than that, you know, I'm really impressed with the products, and I'd recommend them to people out there who are looking for things like this to help organise gear and compartmentalise things in their pack. So thanks again for watching, guys. Just a quick vid, but thought it might be useful, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care.